It's Friday morning. What's going on, Capital XTRA Breakfast? Robert Bruce and Shayna Marie. We are joined by the stars from the brand new series of Black Mirror. It's out now. It's Paapa Essiedu Anjana Vasan, everybody!
Morning, guys. Welcome. Hello. This is Capital XTRA. How are you guys feeling this morning?
I'm feeling the vibes, man. It's great.
I feel great. This is our first stop.
Yeah?
I'm excited to be here. Yeah.
Well, thanks. Let's get straight into it. Black Mirror, Series 6 is out on Netflix now.
Yes, and this is a very, very iconic show, guys. When you got the call up for this, Paapa, you first. When you got the call up for, I don't know if it was an audition process or what was the beginning of your step into Black Mirror?
Yeah, real talk. Like, number one, I'm a fan when it comes to Black Mirror. If I'm honest, like I've watched all of them. I loved it from the days when it was Channel 4. You know, you were watching it on 4OD. You know, even pre-Netflix. or obviously, like big up Netflix, but like yeah. So I've been a day one fan. So when and the way they do it is very shady. They send you an email. They don't even tell you it's Black Mirror. They say it's like untitled, like Red Door Project or whatever. You know, it's kind of mysterious, which I guess is apt for a show like that, but you read it and you're like, yeah, there's something different about this. But yeah, I was so excited. Ange was already cast by the time I was auditioning for it, and I've always been such a huge fan of her and admirer of her. So yeah, it was a dream come true, really.
Wicked. And Anjana, for you, when you were auditioning, was it for a specific episode? Did they get you in just for like any episode in particular, or is it like the whole series? How does it work?
So they just sent me the script. I mean, they didn't call it Black Mirror, as Paapa said, but I knew it was Black Mirror because of the people involved, and you know, Charlie Brooks' name was on that. So I read the episode and I was instantly like, this feels really different for Black Mirror. Like, you know, it was a different vibe. It was really genre hoppy and interesting and fun, and I knew I wanted to be a part of that world, but I just sent a tape. And then a couple of weeks later, they said, do you want to be in Black Mirror? And I went, absolutely, yes. And then I did a chemistry read with Paapa. And, you know, I kept my fingers crossed that it was going to be Paapa because it felt like I was working with someone that I've worked with for years and years and years. But it was our first time working together because I'm also a very big fan of this guy, like the rest of the world is. So, yeah, it was like an instant sort of, it just worked. And I was like, this is going to be great. If he does this is going to be great. Like, we're going to find it together. And I think we did.
Where were you when you both got the yes, it's good to go call? Because people always have like these mad stories like,
I was on the toilet, or I was
on the golf course, or
Yeah.
I was on a plane or something.
I mean, I've never been on a golf course.
Neither have I, but
I don't live that life.
I don't answer the phone in the toilet as well.
So do you remember where you were when it was?
I was in Margate. It was like an anniversary thing, you know.
Okay.
So it was one of them ones where like I was with my partner, and it was like, so turn off your phone, like make sure you're present, all of that. And I was just like checking my emails like that. And I just went, oh no, I'll turn it off now. But you know.
Actually, I remember because we did the chemistry read and you were like, I have to go now to Margate because I'm supposed to be there for my romantic getaway, but I'm here doing this chemistry read. Like, you had a bag packed and you were ready to go.
Shout out my partner. I love you.
I can attest that she's lovely. I met her. I was actually in Singapore visiting family. And it was towards the end of my trip. And, you know, I was like, man, I need a job. Like, I did so many tapes. I haven't heard from any one of them what's going to go on this year. And then literally before I was due to fly back to London, I got the call saying it was yours. And yeah.
Written in the stars. We love it. We were speaking about the origins of Black Mirror and how the show's been running for a long time, how iconic it is. And Jana, do you have one episode that you would say like, yeah, that is my favourite episode? Maybe one that made you want to be a part of Black Mirror?
I really love the early seasons. I think the first one that I watched, I'm going to forget the name. I hope I get it right. Is it Be Right Back? Is it the one with Hayley Atwell? That just broke me. I think it was an episode about grief, essentially, and it was so beautiful, and I was crying the whole way through, and I just thought, this is so clever, but it just sort of spoke to me in like a really profound way. I thought it was genius. But I've watched all the Black Mirrors, so I'm a fan, and I just love that every world is different. And they get really good actors involved, and you know, it's always fresh and exciting and different every time.
Paapa, people may recognize you from I May Destroy You. Michaela Cole, she has previously starred in Black Mirror. Did you get any tips or advice, or did you let her know that you got the role, that you was going to be in it as well?
Yeah, I was chatting to her because she did USS Callister, and that was actually directed by the same person who directed our
sick.
episode. So I obviously belled her up, and I was like, "What's he saying? Is he good?" And she was like, "Yeah, he's all right." She was like, "He's amazing." Toby Haynes, our director, who's been a great leader and captain on this project, and was kind of like instrumental in like helping us develop our relationship and to kind of elevate the script, which was already brilliant. But I think he's done a particularly brilliant job at visually. In the same way as he did on Michaela's episode. It's the Star Trek one. But Michaela's been in it twice, actually.
Twice?
Yeah.
I've seen the Star Trek one.
Yes,
So I actually have been in a Black Mirror episode before. I had a little scene, two little scenes in Nosedive, which Michaela Cole was in as well. But we unfortunately never got to meet because she was in a completely different scene from me. But I'm a huge fan. But so I did Nosedive. So obviously when they sent me the script, I was like, they forgot that I was in this already.
I know this text.
Should I even bother doing this tape? They're not going to give it to me. But I forgot that there's people who've done it twice. So
Okay.
I'm glad I sent the tape.
Good.
So let's talk about your episode then. I hear it's set in Northern England. What's the title? Give us the title.
It's called Demon 79.
And if you could like tell us about it without telling us about it, tell us about it.
That's like the hardest thing to do when it's a Black Mirror.
Obviously.
Like, how do you do that without giving spoilers away? It's set in 1979, and it's the story of this very unassuming, shy sales assistant in a shoe department, in a department store. And she lives a very beige, brown life. Like, she gets up, she goes to work. You know, it's very unassuming, very ordinary. And she's this brown girl in this very small town in Northern England. And she's having a hard time, you know, but she's just trying to survive and get by. And she, through some very interesting events, meets this. Now you take over. This is where you come in.
So it's 1979. It's on the cusp of like Thatcher taking over. There's a lot of kind of like political strife in terms of like immigration being a hot topic, what's happening to workers' rights, blah blah. Anyway, she ends up coming across a domino in the basement of her shop, and cuts herself on the drawer as she picks it up, marking the domino. And then that domino turns out to be a demon. And that demon turns out to be me. And
yeah, she unlocks his talisman, basically. And so there's like a supernatural element that, you know, takes over the story. And she's, without saying too much, she's asked to do some very unspeakable things in order to stop the apocalypse from happening.
Wow.
This is the demon and the sales assistant. And it's on there.
In a nutshell.
It's a weird premise, but I promise you it works.
Sounds wicked.
We heard Charlie Brooker, the creator of Black Mirror, talking about this whole AI thing, and he tries to get AI to write an episode. Do you ever think we'll get to a place where AI does that? Could you imagine acting in something that AI has written, or do you think it could just never be so spot on like how we are?
I mean, I don't know much about AI. I read things about it, but I hope not. Just because I feel like, well, if it does, I don't think anything beats like the originality and brilliance and genius of like a writer, especially working on Black Mirror. And this episode was co-written by Bisha K. Ali, who is, I think she's just the future. I think she's like a bright young talent. So, an AI couldn't come up with the kind of messed up, beautiful, twisted minds of something that Charlie and Bisha could come up with. I just don't think it can match it. It could try and recreate it, but I think it would be a pale comparison.
He did say it turned out rubbish.
Yeah,
He did say he tried it. It was,
Yeah.
it was like pants. So the episode that you guys are in, Demon 79, is 74 minutes long, which is pretty long for a, I guess, episode. Yeah. Did it feel like filming TV, or did it feel more like a short film?
It felt like a film to me. It felt like we were our own little world.
Yeah.
And I think we do say that it's like a red mirror film, whatever that means, But yeah, it felt like a film to me. What did you think making it?
yeah, I mean, like the two things are so similar right now. Like we're in a world where like television is so like high quality and high production value and whatever. Like the difference is much of a muchness, really. But like it felt like doing a Black Mirror. which is
Okay,
which is like different to doing
Anything,
You know?
yeah.
Doing a TV or doing a film, you're doing a Black Mirror. It's an event, you know, and everyone's there because they love it. It's not just the actors, it's the crew, it's the makeup department. They're all the best of the best, and they're all doing it because they respect the project.
It felt like doing a Black Mirror.
I want to be. They should do a radio Black Mirror, man.
What would our episode look like?
Our episode would look like.
What would our episode look like if
I
we were
think
in like
it's-
radio Black Mirror?
It would start after the coffee come down. So you know, I think that's the premise. That's where
a
it
dark
starts,
place.
where
That's
the
the
delusions
point.
begin.
But it'd be like
Mid-morning.
it would be like we'd have a camera in here and we'd be watching you saying something, but what would be coming out on the actual radios would be something completely
That is
different.
actually genius.
That's what it would be. Copyrighted. That's my
Come on.
Charlie Brooker, back off.
Anjana, you are originally from Singapore. What has been the best thing that you have learned about the UK from Paapa?
Specifically from Paapa.
Specifically from your co-star Paapa. It
That's-
could be anything. It could be like shaking his head. It could be like a food. It could be like a funny way
Okay.
that he says things.
I'll say this because, you know, well, I've lived in London like a long time, but, you know, there's many parts of London I've not explored because I've only lived here like 10 years. You've introduced me to Walthamstow because yeah, we've hung out there a couple of times.
East
and
London.
It's nice.
East London or North London?
East
London.
like East North,
Walthamstow.
Yeah, so I've
Are
been
you
to
happy with
places
that
I've never been to
representation?
before.
I'm very happy. I grew up in Walthamstow.
There you go.
Walthamstow is very close to my heart, you know. I think
Yeah.
everyone should spend time in Walthamstow.
What could we do if we was to go Wolverhampton?
If you go to Walthamstow, there's a big market, Walthamstow Market. You know, you can
Nice.
get things of varying quality there. You know, but like you're always gonna get a good price. It's always gonna be a good deal. You know, they'll look after you.
Big question though.
Yeah.
Do you cut your hair in Wolverhampton? Because this trim, I need to know where this barber is, please.
Shout out Chris working out of Amma's hair salon.
Come
Seven
on.
Sisters.
Come on.
St Anne's Road. He's doing the damn thing.
Listen, let me go on my Google Maps every day.
Find that one.
So, Papa, we've seen you going viral on theatre TikTok, yeah? How is life now since just the whole influx of people post-BAFTA and all of that sort of stuff? How's things for you now? Have you felt like a shift?
Yeah, it's all right. It's like it's funny because like I don't really get recognised in the street like that too much. Apart from like if I'm actually on TV. I remember there was this one time. Have I got time to tell a really short story?
Come on, man.
I was this one time. I would like. It was actually lockdown and I'm a Destroyer had just come out, and at these times I was driving a Citroen C4, right, which is not the sexiest car. And like I was walking down the street and like these people came up to me and they're, oh my God, I saw you on TV, you're so amazing. And then I got into the car and they were like, are you driving that? Is that you? And I was like, I had to hang my head in shame as
I'm just pouring it from my
yeah,
aunt.
do you know what I
No,
mean?
it's
It's my mum's car. Thingy. So, you know, there's pros and cons to being recognised. You know?
Okay, so we are a music station. We play hip hop and R&B, of course. Now, we asked you what a Black Mirror would look like if it was us from the radio. What would a Black Mirror look like if it starred one of our favourite artists? Let's say Rihanna. What would a Rihanna in Black Mirror look like, do you guys think?
Maybe like some sort of preparation for like the Super Bowl or preparation for some big like tour or something, and then everyone turns up and like she's like an avatar or something or a hologram or something, or there's some big like set piece that I've been
You're
thinking,
good at this.
you know.
Really good. Yeah.
I told you I'm a fan. Something like that. What do you reckon?
I don't know. Like that video, Better Have My Money. That was a cool music
Yeah,
video. I mean,
yeah,
that
yeah,
felt
yeah.
maybe kind of a little bit Black Mirror. Like if she pushed those elements a bit
Yeah,
further,
further.
that could be going into Black Mirror territory.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
filming a music video.
It's a murderous
or getting ready.
rampage. You know.
There you go, Bag Gary. Still got you sorted.
This show has been known for things to happen after things get said
It's
on
true.
it, you know?
It's true. So if it happens, you're welcome. It was us that did it.
That's all I'm saying.
I think this weekend is going to be a weekend of binging Black Mirror. It's been a pleasure. It is out now on Netflix. Your episode, Paapa and Anjana, Demon 79, is available to stream now.
Yes, one more time. Let's give it up. Paapa Essiedu Anjana Vasan in the studio, everybody!